Hey, welcome to the Melancholy Guy, a companion podcast to my Tumblr blog, The Melancholy Guy, daring to be black, open, and free. The adventures of a divorced, open, polyamorous African American male. I am the Melancholy Guy, Calvin, or CPJR if you know me. And definitely today, I believe that change I must or die I will. Hey, welcome to the 19th episode of my now weekly podcast of me basically talking about my life, looking back on my blog, which can be found at Tumblr at melancholyguy.tumblr.com. And basically, this is me talking about my adventures, trials, and tribulations as I converted or fully took my life into the ethical non-monogamy community. So basically, I was living monogamously up to 2 marriages, and then I decided that it was best that I open up myself and open up my second marriage. And I've been talking about that the previous 18 episodes. So here we are, episode 19. And last week, we're not doing weekly block podcast, and unfortunately I'm still at 15 minutes. This is the last week for that. Next week will definitely be longer, 30 to 45 minute format. I'm excited about that because I've been working hard to get there, and it's actually going to happen. Like I said, next week, and I'm excited. But this week, let's just go back to last week. We're talking about swinging 101. So if you've been listening to any episodes up to now, you know that I opened up my second marriage, and we started out through a deal to go into ethical non-monogamy via swinging. And I was talking about how we started swinging, and I got to what I call swinging 101, and I was going into the basics of how it worked. But then on Sunday of last week, in the world of consent, there was an incident posted, and something happened to an actor, a very famous comedian actor, Aziz Ansari, and I had to it took me back, not because it happened to him, but because I may have mentioned before in Swinging 101 that ethical non-monogamy and swinging is all about consent. It's all about leveling the playing field. It's deeply, it's in tune with feminism and empowering women to speak for themselves and ask what they want. A lot of women in the ethical non-monogamy community, the polyamorous community, swinging community, are feminists, and they are sex positive, and they will definitely speak up for what they want and what they don't want. And they what I say is they found their voice. They found their voice, and they found their ability to negotiate. Like I said, the playing field is even. So that's why I wanted to talk about in this podcast swinging and consent, because consent is it's something that's actually taught and enforced in the swinging community. If you don't follow the rules, you won't be invited back to dates. You will get a bad reputation, and you basically will be blackballed. If you remember, I was talking about the 2 sites, Black Swingers Club and the other site, I think SLS, Swingers Lifestyle. And I was talking about how you meet people through these sites, and you also go to clubs. It's a small, tight community, because it has to be, because it's underground. But in those communities, on those sites, you're verified. As you meet people and you go out to meet and greets, and then you go to play dates and all that kind of stuff, people will come back and write about their time, and it will show up in your profile. You can basically close your profile and try to open up another one. There are bad actors, and people do that from time to time. You'll see someone and their profile disappear, and their profile will a newer profile will appear, and it's the same people. They're just trying to dump all their bad verifications, but you're verified, so that keeps everyone kind of honest, because you basically, it's about consent. It's about when you go out to clubs, and I'm going to relate this to the Aziz Ansari situation. And when you go out to clubs, you know, the words you hear all the time, the first number one rule is no is no. And in some clubs now we're even saying yes is yes, but no is no. You don't touch anyone. You don't try to come into a situation or a scene or bother anyone while they're in the middle of playing, because no is no. You ask. It's a positive, enthusiastic consent environment. You have to ask before touching, and you see people in various states of dress. You may see people completely naked, but that doesn't mean you can go up and touch them. And it's a strange environment, because there's a lot of alcohol involved, and you know, alcohol will bring out the worst in people. And there have been incidents that I have seen people get thrown out, mostly newbies, because if they weren't ready for the jealousy, they didn't have the conversations they need to have. And talking about that, the conversations you need to have. So basically, when you're in this environment and you learn how to negotiate for what you want. First, if you're married or couple, you negotiate with your spouse or your boyfriend, girlfriend, your significant other, on what you two want. You negotiate on how you're going to navigate the world, who you're going to be with, how you're going to play, when you're going to play. One of the rules that we had to develop was no sex on the first night, on the first date, because basically that's something that we had to learn, because we would get there, get the party and having a good time, get drunk, and then next thing you know, we're out over somebody's house or the hotel room playing, and then we were like, oh man, that shouldn't have happened. You know, we didn't really like it, so we could institute the rule of, you know, no playing on the first date, and that was posted on our profile. No playing on the first date. If you want to do that, just don't hang out with us, because we definitely want to make sure that we have chemistry out of that. And then once we did that, we met some really nice people. It just basically just cut a lot of people out. You know what I'm saying? It's just basically because you have, I call it the real swingers. Real swingers don't care about the rule. They just want to get it on. They want to get down. They want to play. If you got if you got blood in your veins, we getting it on. We gonna work it out. But like, we were more interested in chemistry and attraction and things like that. So we had the rule of no, you know. So that alleviated a lot of people basically by having that out there. And you do things like that. So even when you meet the first time, you're still in negotiation. You're still talking about what you want to happen, how you want it to happen, and when you want it to happen. So that's how it works in the swinging world. Swinging is about consent, period. There's no way around it. You have to discuss what you're going to do, how the night is going to roll. Are we fucking or what? No. Okay, cool. I'll either see you later or not. Now, there's been some shenanigans, and I'll talk about some of those as we go, because I posted about that, because people do, you know, there's bad actors everywhere, and there were bad actors even in this community, and people trying to get around that, trying to get around your rules. Now I want to talk about the situation with Aziz Ansari, and I think her pen name was Grace. So basically, what I see it as, they both have poor communication problems, or they both don't know about power dynamics. And I got that from somebody I know on Facebook. They don't really know how to ask for what they want. Now, I see both of them starting the night wanting with different visions of how the night was to play out. I see Mr. Ansari, Aziz, as definitely part of the hookup society, and definitely saw this as a hookup. You know, it was going to be, let's get dinner, go back to my place, you know, hook it up, you know, play it out. That's what he probably thought. I don't know how he communicated it during the week, texting and all that kind of stuff. But basically, it was just no really planning for the date. For someone to be a star, have money, dinner and back to my place is, you know, that doesn't speak that this is something that we're going to build on. This is something that we're going to do. And I don't know, see if it, so let's say if Mr. Aziz Ansari was a swinger, it would be like, cause I've been on swinging dates with the women, it'd be like, oh yeah, we're going to hook up and then we're going to go back to the house. We're going to get it on. We're going to play tonight. Yes. You know what I mean? It's just like, yes, affirmative. Yes. What is it called? Enthusiastic consent. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go back and we're going to play. We're going to chill and we're going to hang out tonight. Are you staying? Yeah, I'm staying. You know what I mean? Like, that's just all laid out. It's just yes, no, it's done. So now the young lady probably was part of, she's young, I think in her 20s, so she may have been, you know, in the whole environment of the hookup society, and she may have been wanting something different, but couldn't say, I don't want to go back to your apartment, you know, because she really wanted a relationship. This is her chance with this dude. He's supposed to be a nice dude, quote unquote feminist. But then when it came down to saying, well, if we're going back to your house, we're not fucking. There's to be no sex. You know what I'm saying? That's something that she should have been able to say. And I think we need to encourage people to say that. Now, if they had been in a non-monogamous community, you know what I'm saying? That's something that she would have known that she was able to say. She can just say, okay, we're going back to your house. Cool. We're not fucking. Just to let you know, there will be no sex tonight. So if you still want to go back, we could go. But don't think this is going to happen the way you think it's going to happen, sir. So, and that would have just eliminated the whole thing. Or she could have said, oh, yeah, you know, we can play around a little bit, but there will be no sex. And if you try to, you know what I mean? You have to find your voice. You have to be able to talk about sex. And it's something that I don't understand outside of our community, because you guys that are maybe vanilla, people that aren't in the ethical non-monogamous community, aren't able to actually talk about sex. It freaks you out. And that's where I see a lot of these problems come from, is that guys don't know how to ask what they want and don't know how to take rejection, and then go out, because you could find anything you want. I've been in the ethical non-monogamous community for since started 2008, 2009, and I've never had an issue finding what I was looking for, period. I've tried everything to BDSM, kink, things, you know what I mean? Like, I've just, by asking, by having the balls to carve out this space to ask for it. And basically, I'm down to 46 seconds. So basically, I'm going to continue this conversation next week. Longer show. So always remember to love and respect yourself first, and everything else will take care of itself. Peace and namaste.